Welcome into Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee, the show that highlights Giles, Lawrence, and Maury counties from the pages of your local newspapers. I'm Scott Stewart, publisher of your local newspapers, the Pulaski Citizen, Main Street Maury, and Lawrence County Advocate. Here are some events you will find in this week's editions of your local newspapers. In Lawrence County, the Middle Tennessee District Fair kicks off tomorrow, that's September 18th, Thursday, and starts its 10-day run to September 27th. The fair promises to be fun for all of Southern Middle Tennessee, so get on down to Lawrenceburg's Rotary Park and get in on some of that fun. In Maury County, throughout the month of September, Columbia's Welcome Center is hosting an art exhibit featuring the work of local artist Val Petty. You can see the exhibit at 713 North Main Street, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 3. In Giles County this week, you'll find two amazing events this weekend and one next weekend. Friday evening will be the local observance of the POW MIA recognition. That's at 5:30 at the Courthouse Gazebo. Saturday, the square will be filled with trucks and tractors and kids of all ages from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for Touch a Truck. On September 26th and 27th will be the Elkton Police Rodeo. Chandler will give you more details on these and more in the Pulaski Citizen Wrap. We'd love to get you a copy of your local newspaper every week delivered to your mailbox with a subscription. And here's how you get your subscription started. Call 931-363-3544, 615-452-4940, or 931-762-1726. Or you can visit PulaskiCitizen.com, MainStreetMurray.com, or LawrenceCountyAdvocate.net to find out everything you need to know for an online or traditional subscription to any of our papers or websites. And you can go to any of those websites and call any of those numbers. Andrew, Chandler, Maurice, and yours truly will be along in just a few minutes with our weekly wraps from your local newspapers. Let's just go ahead and get those wraps going.
Hello, Maury County. I'm your Main Street Maury reporter, Andrew Pearson, and this is the news from our September 17th issue. The first story on the front page is one I'm quite proud of, although it starts on a slightly sad note. Billy Dean Johnson, the Mater man who sold tomatoes on Tyndall Lane, decided to close his stand after breaking his hip last month. Mr. Johnson was a farmer for his first 34 years, then cut trees for 2 decades, and finally started growing and selling produce when he moved to Columbia in 2012. One year his garden coughed up a remarkable duck-shaped tomato, which you can see in a photograph on page A3. I get into the rest of his life and gardening techniques in the article. Tragically, a woman was hit and killed last week near an apartment complex on Tom J. Hitch Parkway by a driver who then fled. The event happened between 4:30 and 4:50 a.m. on Thursday, and Columbia police are asking people to come forward with any leads they might have. The Columbia Peace and Justice Initiative will celebrate Barbara Dobbins for her life's work as a teacher and administrator in Maury County. Mrs. Dobbins worked for 38 years at Whitthorne Middle School as a teacher, department head, and finally vice principal, receiving the Teacher of the Year and Susan B. Anthony Awards, and she later served as a leader for multiple nonprofits. The ceremony will take place at Murray Hills Church at 6 p.m. on September 30th. On 9/11, Mount Pleasant held a dress rehearsal for a future public hearing on the development of 247 houses that John Mayer Builders hoped to build on the old Armstrong Plantation site. The public comment, as usual, was entirely opposed to the development, and this time they brought out the statistic that half of all step septic systems in the state have failed at least once. The historian types among them are also developing their idea bit by bit to turn the field into a historical park. And finally, the new Visit Mount Pleasant organization is working to revitalize the city's downtown. Ms. Caroline Rash is helping existing businesses and courting new ones to create a mix of goods and services that will keep people hanging around Mount Pleasant's Main Street all afternoon if they choose. They're also planning to throw regular block parties like Motors on Main, a classic car show which will happen on September 27th from 2 to 5 p.m. In our other news, Spring Hill extends its alternative sewer system. We bring you the stats from the 2025 Maury County Fair. A truck crashed into a farmhouse at Allenbrook Farms in Spring Hill on September 1st. The works of local artist Val Petty will hang in the Columbia Welcome Center all month. And finally, in a piece of news that made national headlines, Skylar Philippi, a 24-year-old from Columbia, pled guilty to 2 pretty heavy charges that he incurred while trying to bomb the electrical grid in Nashville last year. That's the A-section news for this week. Thank you for tuning in to our wrap, and we've got lots of other stories in our B-section, which contain sports, op-eds, and classifieds. Pick up a copy of Main Street Maury today at a grocery or convenience store near you, or enjoy the articles with your subscription, either online or in print. And thank you for continuing to care about and support local journalism.
Is your internet slowing you down? Well, it's time for an upgrade. Unleash the speed you need at home or at work with CPWS Internet. You can get speeds up to 1 gig for as low as $70 a month. No contracts, no hassle, just pure, powerful internet. Give us a call today at 931-375-7777 to order. Local service, local support, CPWS.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily, as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
I need to make a call. Hey, this is Brianna with Busy Bee. I'm giving you a call to let you know your technician is on his way.
Busy Bee. Guys, not yet. Not yet.
Busy Bee.
Now I'm ready, guys.
Call 775-7833.
This is Chandler Harmon bringing you this week's Pulaski Citizen Wrap. And we'll start this week with our Citizen Spotlight of Jaden Brandon Britton. Their photo graces the spot of honor at the top and center of our front page. Also in A1, National POW/MIA Recognition Day is this Friday. And this year, Giles County Veterans Organizations will be coming together to host a commemorative ceremony which will take place at the Giles County Courthouse gazebo at 5:30 p.m. on Friday. Pulaski's annual Touch a Truck event is set for this Saturday. It'll be a free event hosted by the Pulaski Lions Club in partnership with the Giles County Chamber of Commerce. Giles County native Bill T. Young passed away last week, leaving behind a legacy of dedication to his community. The Giles County Commission released a proclamation highlighting his dedication to his community, which included his efforts to develop Exit 14. The 5th annual Elkton's Police Department Rodeo is set for September 26th through 27th. Gates will open at 5:30 each evening, and the event will take place in the Elkton City Park. Following an investigation by the Giles County Sheriff's Department, a Minor Hill resident has been taken into custody for aggravated rape of a child. Inside, Tidal Wave Auto Spa has announced its 17th annual Charity Day event, which will be held on September 19th. As part of their commitment to giving back, 100% of proceeds will be given to local charities and nonprofits. The Middle Tennessee District Fair is set to return to Lawrenceburg Thursday, September 18th, for 10 full days of excitement. PES is urging residents to avoid shooting near power lines. Autumn is this week's GCHA Pet Corner Pet of the Week. And as always, the Pulaski Citizen has property transfers, backward glances, obituaries, government public notices, court dockets, community briefs, church directory, fun and games, Tennessee Valley weather, and church briefs. Well, that's it for us. We'll be right back after this.
Is your internet slowing you down? Well, it's time for an upgrade. Unleash the speed you need at home or at work with CPWS Internet. You can get speeds up to 1 gig for as low as $70 a month. No contracts, no hassle, just pure, powerful internet. Give us a call today at 931-375-7777 to order. Local service, local support, CPWS.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Busy bee, yeah, busy bee. If you need
Hold on, y'all, hold on. I need to make a call. Hey, this is Brianna with Busy Bee. I'm giving you a call to let you know your technician is on his way.
333.
Oh, busy bee. Guys, not yet. Not yet.
Busy bee, oh,
Now
busy
ready,
bee.
guys.
Call 775-7833.
The Lawrence County Advocate Rap starts this week with a 12-year sentence that's been handed down from a 2023 wrong-way wreck that was fatal for a Lawrence County resident. The Middle Tennessee District Fair is September 18th through the 27th and loaded with events, exhibits, rides, concerts, and a ton more. Find out what's going on in this week's front page article. Also, we have some information concerning traffic during the peak fair hours. Finally, on A1, a couple of events in Lawrenceburg honored the memory of September 11th and the life of Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated on September 10th. Inside, a Leoma resident suffered serious injuries last week as a result of a brush fire that consumed part of a cornfield and threatened a structure. The Lawrence County Republican Party reports about the 2025 Reagan Day dinner. The county's water supply far exceeds its demands. The shelter has announced their September needs. The Noah's Ark Widows Ministry celebrated 15 years recently. Also, Lawrence County's Heath Hill has been named the Tennessee Association of Fairs state president. A Lawrenceburg woman will serve on the UNA career panel. Lawrence County agencies will receive the Tennessee Highway Safety Office grant funds. Ricky Skillington has been appointed to the Council on Developmental Disabilities. And the young and young at heart got together recently and enjoyed a messy art day. We celebrate our Lawrence County first responders. The Lawrence County trustee speaks to the Historical Society. Trey Donovan takes a look at the Walking Tall story. There's a lot more to see in this week's edition of Lawrence County Advocate, including local obituaries, local community announcements, government notices and auctions and estate sales, 2 pages of puzzles and comics, and the church directory. Well, that's it for the Lawrence County Advocate Wrap this week. We'll be right back right after this.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Busy bee, yeah, busy bee. If you need
Hold on, y'all, hold on. I need to make a call. Hey, this is Brianna with Busy Bee. I'm giving you a call to let you know your technician is on his way.
3-3.
Bee, oh, busy bee. Guys, not yet. Not yet.
Busy bee, oh,
Now
busy
ready,
bee.
guys.
Call 775-7833.
Is your internet slowing you down? Well, it's time for an upgrade. Unleash the speed you need at home or at work with CPWS Internet. You can get speeds up to 1 gig for as low as $70 a month. No contracts, no hassle, just pure, powerful internet. Give us a call today at 931-375-7777 to order. Local service, local support, CPWS.
Hey, I'm Maurice Patton, regional sports editor for Southern Middle Tennessee for Main Street Media. And in this week's Pulaski Citizen, Lawrence County Advocate, and Main Street Maury print editions, as has been the case for the past few weeks, as will continue to be the case for the next few weeks, very high school football heavy. That said, let's start with the Pulaski Citizen, where Giles County and Richland both went on the road this past weekend and both came home a little unhappy. Giles County dropping a 26-21 decision over at Watertown in their Region 4-3A opener. Richland falling at Huntland in Region 5 1A 21-7. We've got coverage of both those contests. We've also got Mostradamus's predictions for Week 5 of the high school football season, and we've got Larry Woody outdoors stuff. So be sure and check all of that out in the print edition of the Pulaski Citizen. In the Lawrence County Advocate, again, more football. Lawrence County goes on the road. A lot of traveling this weekend. Lawrence County went on the road to Spring Hill. Happy bunch of Wildcats coming back to Lawrenceburg, though. They continued their win streak. They went up to Spring Hill and picked up a 21-14 victory. Loretto making the long ride home from Scotts Hill in their Region 5 2A opener, and the Mustangs victorious big time, snapping a 3-game skid to open the season with a 41-6 win over at Scotts Hill. Not so happy up in Summertown. The Eagles dropping their Region 5 2A opener to visiting Mount Pleasant 21-14. Again, coverage of all three of those in this week's Lawrence County Advocate, as well as, again, Mostradamus's Week 5 picks. In this week's print edition of Main Street Maury, the September 17th edition, again, a lot of football. Columbia Central took on visiting Marshall County in a MyTV 30 Friday night rivals matchup. Tough loss for the Lions, 27-21. Great game if you didn't have a dog in the hunt, but the Lions obviously did, and tough outcome. Marshall County kept the ball for the remaining 8 minutes and 17 seconds as Central was hoping to get one more shot at maybe tying it or going up. Didn't quite play out that way for the hosts. Again, Marshall County with a 27-21 win at Columbia Central on Friday night. We've got all the details in this week's print edition of Main Street Maury. Also, that Mount Pleasant Summertown game that we were just talking about, we've got that in Main Street Maury as well. Ditto for that Spring Hill Lawrence County game. All of that in print in Main Street Maury. Columbia Academy in a Thursday night affair went to Lincoln County, went to the pit, came up empty. Third straight loss for the Bulldogs. We've got details on that as well. Also, Independence in Region 6-6A play goes over to Shelbyville, drops a 3-point decision over there. Summit hosting Ravenwood in Region 6-6A action. Not a good night for the Spartans. Very good night for the Ravenwood Raptors. Details in this week's Main Street Maury. We've got coverage of a Columbia Central sophomore reaching a volleyball milestone. See who it was and what it was in this week's Main Street Maury. Also, middle school football scores and upcoming schedule in print. Mostradamus's Week 5 predictions. And, you know, if you're an outdoorsman, you should always be reading Larry Woody's stuff in our papers, but he's got a particularly pointed article, I guess, in this week's Main Street Maury. If you are a deer hunter in particular, check this out. Very important stuff from Larry. I don't read a lot of the outdoor stuff, but I did read this, and y'all should as well. So that's what we got in this week's Pulaski Citizen, in the Lawrence County Advocate, and in Main Street Maury. Be sure and check out our websites as well, PulaskiCitizen.com, LawrenceCountyAdvocate.net, MainStreetMaury.com, to keep you up to date until next week's print editions. I'm Maurice Patton, Regional Sports Editor for Southern Middle Tennessee for Main Street Media. We'll see y'all next week.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather on Main Street.
Well, good morning. Taylor Plott here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center with check on your forecast, starting off your Wednesday morning with some clouds. Cannot completely rule out an isolated shower or storm. Slightly better chances mainly south of Interstate 40 going into the afternoon hours on your Wednesday. Going into your evening hours, mostly dry, just some clouds, temperatures dropping down to the 70s. And once we get into your Thursday, should be a relatively dry day across Tennessee. Here is your 7-day forecast. Slightly better rain chances occurring Friday and Saturday, with temperatures getting up into the upper 80s and lower 90s on Friday. Glad it's not going to be the upper 90s. We do gradually decrease those temperatures, though, going into the beginning of next week, with more 80s expected across the area.
Hey, that's it for Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee this week. Make sure you get a copy of your local newspaper so that you don't miss a minute or a second of the coverage that we have lined up for you all across Southern Middle Tennessee. For more information on subscribing to any of our local newspapers, you can visit one website, and one website will do it all. That is MainStreetMediaTN.com. That's MainStreetMediaTN.com. And again, we thank you for trusting us as your source for local news, information, sports, and more. And good Lord willing, we're going to be right back here next week on Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily, as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.